President Obama today saying that Iran has violated our agreement. I mean, what did he think? He's now complaining about Iran violating the agreement. What the hell did he think? He's like a baby. What the hell did he think was going to happen?
I've heard if you go through the details, Jim, and I wonder how the administration responds to this, they point out that all the inspectors that the Iranians will allow to come in from the International Atomic Energy Agency will have to be inspectors from countries that have formal, full diplomatic relations with Iran, meaning the United States will not be allowed to have any inspectors that actually go into Iran to take a look, because the U.S. does not have full diplomatic relations with Iran. What does the administration say about that?
That's right, and that was a concession that was made during this negotiating process, and essentially it's because the Iranians don't trust the Americans to do a credible job of inspections. And so what you're going to see unfold, I think, Wolf, is yes, you're going to have daily routine inspections of the known sites that have been a part of the Iranian nuclear lexicon for some 5 or 6 years now. The question becomes what happens with these suspicious sites, and that's where you get into a potential cat and mouse game. The question, though, becomes for Hillary Clinton and for this White House is, as goes this Iran nuclear deal, as go these inspections and the cat and mouse games that may follow, so go not only the prospects for this White House and the legacy of this presidency, but potentially Hillary Clinton's candidacy. Can you imagine, Wolf, that she's trying to run for president and you have these Iranians throwing up roadblocks and playing games with international inspectors over these Iranian nuclear sites? It could be a very, very big headache for the Democrats.
I'm going to talk about Debbie just handed me a question, about self-inspection. When everybody talking about Parchin, and are they going to be able to have self-inspection? The answer is it is not self-inspection, number one. But let me go into that in more detail when the press is not here, okay? And get into that question. Although I can't go into the classified pieces, I can be more explicit without confusing things, okay?
What happened, Mr. Secretary, with the anytime, anywhere?
We never, this is a term that, honestly, I never heard in the 4 years that we were negotiating. It was not on the table. There's no such thing in arms control as anytime, anywhere. There isn't any nation in the world, none, that has an anytime, anywhere.
Because of this deal, we will, for the first time, be in a position to verify all of these commitments. That means this deal is not built on trust. It is built on verification. Inspectors will have 24/7 access to Iran's key nuclear facilities. Iran will have access to Iran's entire nuclear supply chain, its uranium mines and mills, its conversion facility, and its centrifuge manufacturing and storage facilities. This ensures that Iran will not be able to divert materials from known facilities to covert ones. Because of this deal, inspectors will also be able to access any suspicious location. Put simply, the organization responsible for the inspections, the IAEA, will have access where necessary, when necessary. Because of this deal, inspectors will also be able to access any suspicious location. Put simply, the organization responsible for the inspections, the IAEA, will have access where necessary, when necessary. That arrangement is permanent.
New revelations of a secret side agreement in the Iran nuclear deal. NBC News has learned the UN's inspection agency agreed to allow Iran to use its own experts to inspect one of its most sensitive military complexes, a site suspected in the past for nuclear weapons activity. The Associated Press first reported the side deal for the Parchin nuclear site, with the inspections there to focus on past activity. The news comes as President Obama faces critics at home while working to grow congressional support for the deal.
And the fact of the matter is that even Secretary Kerry has admitted that the United States is unaware of the side deals that have been entered into between Iran and the IAEA. Now, one can argue, of course, that this is ridiculous. How can we let the Iranians inspect their own sites that are military? But this is what part of the problem is of the deal, is that we really don't know how all of the verification procedures are going to work.
Quote, the document is labeled Separate Arrangement 2, which would mean there is another confidential agreement, Part 1, with Iran and the IAEA, What is this all about? How many are there? We don't even know that, do we?
Well, only members of Congress and the administration know how many there are. And Secretary Kerry has said that even he has not seen all of these deals. Now, you have to take Secretary Kerry at his words. But let's assume for this argument, Jose, that there are separate deals, that there are secret deals between the IAEA and Iran, and that they are going to pose a problem for the administration that has argued consistently that it has a verification regime in place that is bar none.
This is Iran's Parchin military facility, long suspected to be the site of past efforts by Tehran to militarize its nuclear program. Under the draft deal with the UN, Iranian staff will be involved in inspections at the site, an arrangement that has critics of the nuclear agreement in an uproar. Republican Senator and presidential candidate Lindsey Graham saying, quote, allowing the Iranians to inspect their own nuclear sites, particularly a notorious military site, is like allowing the inmates to run the jail.
I express the United States condemnation of Iran's continued violations of various Security Council resolutions, including, as well as the IAEA Board of Governors. We're particularly concerned about reports that there are the loading of and preparation for the spinning of centrifuges at the Qom facility, which is a flagrant and blatant violation.
First, Iran must demonstrate its commitment to transparency. Earlier this month, we presented clear evidence that Iran has been building a covert nuclear facility in Qom. Since Iran has now agreed to cooperate fully and immediately with the International Atomic Energy Agency, it must grant unfettered access to IAEA inspectors within 2 weeks.
Is also at the heart of one of President Obama's most important foreign policy objectives, ensuring that Iran does not get a nuclear weapon. As President Obama has repeated many times, we are keeping all options on the table. It's a danger to the entire world, including the United States. End of quote. Now I want to be very clear. A bad deal is worse than no deal.
There's an agreement on inspection and verification that this Congress, before we vote, will never have seen. The American people will never have seen. How in the world, on the most important aspect of any agreement, a verification, the provisions for which are not known to the members of this body?
Why there would be side agreements that the Secretary of State says he has not read.
Lou, it's pretty remarkable when Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas and I learned directly from the IAEA negotiators that there were these secret side deals, and asked the simple question, are we going to be able to see them? And he said, oh goodness, no. And we asked if Secretary Kerry had seen them. He said no, and I've now had the chance to confirm that directly with Secretary Kerry. I find this stunning. We've got a historic agreement that has the risk of creating a nuclear state from the world's largest state sponsor of terror, and Congress is going to be asked to vote on these deals without actually having seen the terms of the agreements.
Have you read the deal? Do you know the terms specifically and exactly in this so-called agreement?
So we've all had the chance to read the 159-page agreement and some of the annexes, but these secret side deals we don't have. And the law requires it. President Obama signed cork or card, and it said you will turn over all of the agreements in the deal. And now we know there's these two secret side deals, and we've been told that we're not going to get access to them. They go to the heart of verification. This president said we're not going to trust, we're going to verify. And these secret side deals go to verification of activities at Parchin and related to the military development programs inside of Iran for their nuclear weapons. Not only did they not stop the enrichment programs, not only did they not contain the ballistic missile development programs, they forgot who we're dealing with. This isn't Canada, this is Iran. And these are folks who intend to do the West harm. And I think in the course of these negotiations, Secretary Kerry became so wrapped up in getting a deal done, he lost sight of what's in the best interest of America's national security.
Mr. Speaker, it seems the Iranians are not the only ones we can't trust. Apparently, there are some secret side deals with Iran concerning inspections of their nukes. The administration conveniently withheld this from Congress. Susan Rice said, quote, "These documents are not public, but nonetheless, we have been briefed on those documents. We know their contents. We're satisfied with them." So let me get this straight. We're supposed to trust the person who lied to the American people on national television about Benghazi. Mr. What else are they hiding? Maybe the details of the side deal are stored on a server somewhere. We know we can't trust the Iranians to follow the deal. Now we can't trust the administration to let us know what's in the deal. Let's hope this secret side deals are not as hard to get a hold of as the former Secretary of State's emails.
Well, Joe, even if I believe you were able to stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, you're going to give them a whole lot of money, Joe boy, and they're going to go out and do more of the bad things they're doing now, do it more efficiently, and threaten our friends in an existential way because they'll have so much more money and capacity. Totally legitimate argument and concern.
Today's announcement marks one more chapter in this pursuit of a safer and more helpful, more hopeful world.